Where is the glycogen? So glycogen is inside the cell first. A Usain Bolt is running the 10 kilometer, the 100 meters, not because he doesn't have time to source his source of energy from the blood. It has to come from within the cell. Inside the cell, all he is trying to build, his entire practice is to build the reservoirs of glycogen inside cell. His cell is occupied, 50% of his cell is occupied with the creatine, phosphate and glycogen. Of course, the glycogen also, you have limitation. As I told you, entire body can only store, and maximum is 400 grams or 500 grams of glycogen, not more than that. As I told you, any fight and flight mechanism is releases CP and then glycogen only. Glycogen means 13,000 glucose molecules for him to run at that speed, and so that first the glycogen inside the cell is burnt, then the liver supplies the glycogen. Liver converts the glycogen to glucose and pumps in. If the activity is more than 8 seconds, because the glycogen inside the cell cannot last more than 8 seconds or 10 seconds. And then liver starts pumping glycogen. Even liver stores are depleted, and then lot of lactic acid accumulation took place already. All that athlete has to fight, the limitation is accumulated of the lactic acid. Lactic acid has to be pumped back to the liver. Liver has to again metabolize it, again convert into the sugar. Unless your liver is healthy, and so he doesn't have ability and to use glycogen continuously. And then comes glucose metabolism. Burning the calories it comes. As the intensity exercises, as the intensity increases, like, so as the intensity increases means the number of steps, 1,000 meters, 1,500 meters, and 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, as you go on. So endurance, power, speed, this is called power activity, this is called speed activity, then comes endurance activity. A runner, when you say all these are, you can measure. This is the lowest intensity and this is the highest intensity. So when we do yoga, so here bulk muscle, your journey is from bulk muscle to a lean muscle. A ultra marathon runner, have you seen how his muscle is? His muscle is completely lean. A ultra marathon runner body is, you can see only leanest of lean muscle he has. He looks in fact so fragile, he looks as if he has no energy at all, because his lungs are very weak, his heart is very weak. You look at a maximum repetition person with bulk muscle, how it is, from one extreme to another extreme. And when you do yoga, yoga considers all these aspects to be a fit. The fit, when you say, your fitness, when you say, a healthy living, you are not a soldier, first of all, understand. Never trained to be a soldier. And when you want to understand, when you want to stay a balanced life, work-life balance, when you want to have a peace of mind, when you want to be happy, when you want to be healthy, disease-free, and like Buddha, you can work 22 hours a day and smilingly, yet you won't feel tired, and no one can reach to your creativity level, your logical level, your ability, smilingly. If this is your goal, if this is your goal, and your goal is to work with the brain, and then, so neither this is suitable nor this is suitable. As I told you, there is no power yoga. Power yoga means the one who can repeat only once. So something you are doing in yoga, only you can do only one time, and you can't repeat it, then that yoga becomes a power yoga. People just, without understanding, people name the restaurant names like a Nirvana restaurant, and so Brahma restaurant. This is how we make mockery of the science. Simply people name yogas after their Guru names. Is yoga is invented by Iyengar or is it invented by Pattabhi? They are my gurus, they are my teachers. Is it invented by Pattabhi Joyce? No. A particular style is being carried forward, that's all. In fact, Krishnamacharya is not very happy. Anyone who worked with Krishnamacharya knows. So the turbulence in their family members, isn't it? So Guru, surrendering to the Guru and only representing a legacy. Again you want to add, it is Dr. Kumar show, it is Kumar Yoga. Who is Kumar? Damn Kumar. Who is Kumar? If I only not manipulate, if I only can give you what I learned, undiluted form, then it's called, that's what Patanjali is saying, undiluted form. And if I can give you without adding any additions and deletions, understanding it, the way those saints have practiced it, if I can give in those same words, using the same vocabulary, same words, and translating it for you, and if you practice, that is called a yoga. You are representing a yoga. And now, all of us, we have a ponytails here. I am a yoga teacher. And I am a sizzling star on the internet. I mean, on Instagram. That indicates, you have damaged the very fabric of yoga. So now so many kinds of the yogas named after, so different names and names. Dog yoga, goat yoga, bear yoga. What a pathetic affair of yoga. Yoga has become a bear yoga, naked yoga, goat yoga. Some sense, shameful. Sham it is. So immature, the famous yoga teachers on the net when you find, so silly they look, so silly they talk. Where is the pramana, where is the standard? So not knowing the standard, not knowing, so it is ruining entire yoga. You don't use the word of yoga at least, I'll be very happy. But everyone use yoga is money-making business. For everything you have to add yoga. Now, mindfulness has come. The one who is taught, entire Sanatana Dharma is mindfulness only. Working with the reality, working with the truth of the present reality, present moment only is the Sanatana Dharma. That is only the way to develop. And suddenly now catchy word you coin called mindfulness. And entire world goes gaga. And who is the discoverer of mindfulness? You won't say Buddha, you won't say Yajnavalkya, you won't say Patanjali. You will say someone's name, contemporary. Is he fully enlightened or is he enlightened? At least one should have courtesy to mention, you see, the technologies come from those great saints. We have no right to manipulate the vocabulary. Understand? We are doing the greatest crime in the history of the spirituality. Spirituality is not to change the vocabulary and add your name after that and publish the books. It's not for that. So how long it will last? Already damaged. No one knows what is the actual spirituality. No one knows what is the Sanatana Dharma, what is the way out, what is the technique of self-realization, self-actualization. Siddhanta vicharana, shuchi ashuchi vicharana, nicha aniccha vicharana, atma anatma vicharana, whether Buddha taught, whether Vedanta teaches, the same. And Patanjali defines in the second chapter, and he is trying to make us understand, entire goal is to remove the avidya, and he is defining what is avidya, treating what is impermanent as a permanent, what is impure as a pure, and what is not soul as a treating it as a soul, considering treating ego as a ananda, taking pleasure in our ego, aham brahmasmi. All our ananda is our ego right now. What is anatma, which is far away from the God, being a selfless. So, sukha dukkha vicharana, and indulging in, and all our entertainment, all our input is what is not healthy for the body. Whether you take finding pleasure in what causes the dukkha, what causes the suffering to the body. This is called ignorance. The way out is exactly this. Whether Buddha says, whether Shankaracharya says, whether Vedanta says, that is a style. The Sanatana Dharma gives you only one way out. To deal with the unconscious mind, there are no many realities. You should understand. To deal with the conscious mind, to entertain the senses, 101 ways are there you can entertain. Every day some discovery happened to entertain your senses, something sizzling thing comes, immediately you get excited. Ekam sat bahuda vipravadanti, to entertain your intellect, to entertain your senses, to entertain your mind, 1,000 ways are there. That's called conditioning, pravrutti dharma. There are 101 ways you can condition your mind. But the only one way to decondition, because the deconditioning has to happen, deactivation has to happen at the unconscious level. So when you do yoga, when you say yoga, yoga is to build prana, not to burn calories. Yes, this is what this endurance runner is doing. He has to load low glycemic load. And a Usain Bolt working with that, he has to load high glycemic food. He has to eat ice cream. Or he has to drink a water with maltodextrin. Or he has to drink water with the glucose before he runs. High glycemic load. And this person, if he drinks glucose, he is out. A ultramarathon runner has to eat high fiber and low glycemic load to run 80 kilometers or 40 kilometers. And the one who is using high glycemic load, both have to consume more food. Yoga is to consume more food, as I told you. More food means you quickly die. More you suffer, more consumption. Simple. More food means you are called asura, you are called a demon. The less food means your system is conservation mode, your system is very healthy, your system is very energy. So, less food means you are a sura, you are a god, you are an angel. The minimum you consume. Why? In terms of oxygen, this amounts to almost 6 liters to 25 liters, sick person. This amounts to, if you are not meditating, 1 to 1.5 liters of oxygen. Oxygen consumption is a criteria here. And his oxygen consumption is not less. His oxygen consumption is very high. So, what a yogi? Yogi is working only with beta oxidation and working with electron transport system. And is working with only pyruvic citric acid cycle or pyruvic cycle. And he is converting fat into energy. And without running, without getting tired, and he is burning, he is converting every glucose into a mitochondria with abundant oxygen. His mitochondria is high, means his metabolism is robust. Whatever he eats, even if he eats more, he cannot become fat. Glucose, again using oxygen. And here he uses electron transport system when you say, and energy generated by electrons, highest way off. And energy generated using, all these are, when you are in a relaxed state, it happens. Are you aiming at this? Are you aiming at this? I see in the West when you do yoga, all you do is this. And Krishnamacharya tells, if you want to be healthy, your yoga has to be balanced. The most difficult yoga is this, zero resistance. Yukti nai punyato. The highest skill of a teacher is known. And doing everything in yoga, because ultimate goal is zero resistance. The day you don't have any difference with anyone, everything is acceptable. Resistance means superconducting, opposite. Zero resistance means superconductor. Everything is acceptable for him. Anyone is acceptable, any environment is acceptable. Anything is acceptable for him, no resistance. Why you are unhappy? Because of resistance. A boss is not good. You resist to boss, you resist to your wife, you resist to your children, you resist to government, you resist to society. The one who resists will never be happy. Zero resistance means 100% acceptance. Acceptance, 100% acceptance to the change, 100% adaptability. Adaptability, 100% adaptability. Zero questioning, zero doubt. Zero resistance. This is the highest skill. You have to go to a teacher in search of only this. If you are going in search of this, who is bulk muscle? They are called demons. They are called asuras. Eat 1 kg chicken, 50 eggs, and so 2 kg chicken, 3 kg chicken, 5 kg chicken. In our spiritual, in our yoga text it is written, if you are consuming like that, they are called a demon, they are called rakshasas. Only they consume more. The one who consume more aggressive, he is like animal in the form of a human. And because all the time his testosterone, his ability to control his emotions is very less, because he fires all the time glutamate, calcium ion pumping. And in order to maintain that muscle lifelong, he has to have some hormones or something like that. So the goal is zero resistance. The goal, even you are doing any of this, between every cycle of this, every cycle of this, every endurance activity, every speed activity, every power activity in yoga has to be highly compensated by this. If you have not achieved, after doing power, after doing speed activity, after doing endurance activity, if you have not performed zero resistance, you are out. When you say your immunity is nothing but availability of the electrons in the cell membrane. If the more mitochondria means your cell membrane is fully charged. Now we are talking about cell membrane. Cell membrane is nothing but your UPS, your inverter, your battery. Your inverter or your UPS or your battery in the house, and what it does when there is no power, it supplies the power. So, and this battery is continuously charged by mitochondria inside. The more mitochondria, more healthy your cell membrane is. Your cell membrane needs to have good lipids. Yeah. So it has about 6 to 7 kinds of the lipids, and they need to have a good lipids and good molecule. Good lipids mean good fat molecules and good amino acids. It is made with them. Number one, more number of mitochondria inside, like a yogi cell, zero resistance, more number of mitochondria, like in the heart. As I told you, 25% of the heart volume is mitochondria. And so more mitochondria, more robust your cell membrane. More robust cell membrane means, so what is it in terms of electricity? Is a minus 350 millivolts. It's cell potential, or in other words you can tell pH also. If a virus enters or something enters, and a protein molecule enters, it gets shock. It cannot even enter inside at minus 350 millivolts. It won't even enter into the cell because it gets electric shock. When your charge is very high, electricity is passing, high voltage, when it is passing, high voltage means what? The number of electrons between one point to another point are very high at any point of time. That's why it's called high tension cable. And when you stand under this, you can listen to the sound. If you touch, you are out. So if your cell membrane is strong, charged with electrons of the full capacity, as I told you, minus 350 millivolts is your cell membrane potential, and then no virus, and nothing can damage you. Because it is like a fencing, electrified fencing around your house. Nothing can enter inside. A barbed wire with the electricity passing through it 24/7, and no one can enter into your house. A cell is your house, and that barbed wire fencing and electricity passing at highest level is called a cell membrane. And this you will have only in the zero resistance. The more maximum number of mitochondria you have, more oxygen you have. More oxygen means not inhaling more. So if whatever you are inhaling, if it is available to the cell, that is more oxygen. You don't have to specially breathe. In fact, as I told you, he needs only half a liter of oxygen. That itself is more than sufficient. So is it your oxygen consumption? If I jump like this, I run like this, morning, even now I am seeing in the parks people run. Is it oxygen consumption or oxygen conservation? So now, your job has to do some skill, isn't it? Your job has to do some skill. You are a painter or a sculptor or a software person, software job, or a camera or videography, whatever you are doing some job. To get that skill, how many years you studied? You studied how many years? 5 years of graduation. Then 4 or 5 years of graduation, 2 years of post-graduation for you to do that job properly, to understand that job properly. And you only know that job, that is your profession. That is called your profession. So similarly, yoga means a science of personal fitness, total fitness. Science of total fitness. Mind, psychological, physiological, physical fitness. Isn't it? And mean this vehicle, you have to do the servicing. This is a science. If you understand the science of this, exercise physiology, in other words, or physiology of yoga, if you understand. Exercise physiology of a yoga, if you understand. And then you can claim, you can design how to be fit, how to practice yoga. Oh, this gives me fitness. So this is the way I have to exercise. How many of you choose your means of exercise, have studied about the fitness, have studied about exercise physiology or physiology of yoga? For me to understand exercise physiology of yoga, it took 45 years. I am lucky enough. Because with the modern science tools, I could understand the greatness of those saints, how great scientists, how prodigies they are. With the basis of the modern science, I could really appreciate, I could really understand what Krishnamacharya is talking about. How many? 45 years. With understanding entire exercise physiology as it exists today. And exercise physiology is a 2-year postgraduate course, 3 years postgraduate course. And it has books, volumes. It is not about which muscle. It is all about fitness has become means glutes, hams, biceps, triceps. Do you think the entire fitness is about only hamstrings and only your rhomboid, only your obliques, only your core muscles and your deltoid, only bulk muscles? Fitness is a bulk muscle. To whom you are fooling? Fitness is all about involving every organ, visceral organs and their muscles and external muscles, lean muscles, every muscle in the body, 650 muscles in the body have to be activated, including visceral organs. And yoga is designed something like that. And no one studied. Oh, I know fitness. I know. And one goes for jogging, one goes for walking, and one goes for playing, and for him playing is a fitness, and for someone jogging is a fitness, for someone walking is a fitness. You are far away from being a fit. When you say fitness means you need to have all the mechanisms, power, speed, balanced. And power, speed, and endurance, and strength, and balance, and flexibility, all these parameters are required. Balanced form is called a fitness. Any one thing exceeds, then it is not a yoga at all. It is not called a fitness. Balance of all these things is called a fitness, a fine balance. That's how yoga is super refined science. It is a super science of fitness, a total fitness. For you to understand at that level, you need to understand underlying biochemical reactions, underlying physiological reactions. Suppose I am only an ultra-marathon runner, I don't have to understand about the power or the speed. I only have, all my focus, all my life is understanding only on ultra-marathon running, or okay, how to improve, what is the low glycemic load, etc. And if I am a heavyweight champion, all my focus is only on this maximum repetition and what creatine phosphate I have to take, how to build a glycogen, how to build creatine phosphate. So yoga is not to build creatine phosphate, not to build glycogen, or not to, so not to have infinite and consumption-based, oxygen consumption-based aerobic capacity. Oxygen consumption-based aerobic capacity, I am not talking. Conservation-based aerobic capacity. When you say your aerobic capacity and your rest heart rate, and how you are conserving, how much oxygen you are consuming. Very simple. How much oxygen you are consuming. In a basal energy expenditure, how much oxygen you are consuming. The less you are consuming, you are totally fit, it means. Whatever the exercise you have done, it means it is serving the purpose. If your consumption of oxygen is minimal.